Hello, hello. How's everyone feeling out there on this Jupiter Cazimi day? We are about to have a Cancer new moon in combination to a Jupiter Cazimi. So Jupiter's at 4 degrees. No, Jupiter's at 3 degrees and the Sun and Moon are at 4 degrees. So a lot of extra emotions, and this is a very, Jupiter's energy of blessings and expansion and luck. And in the sign of Cancer, where Jupiter likes to be, this can be blessings that will expand our consciousness in connection to family or star families, really feeling safe and secure, like in that sacred kind of space. And this is the kind of safety and comfort that we might have never experienced before. This is this new moon in Cancer with Jupiter right there will not happen again, at least for another 12 years. There won't be another new moon in the sign of Cancer with Jupiter this close. So this is very significant. And we have even seen some of the blessings that have occurred during this Jupiter Cazimi energy. Actually, yesterday I just found out that Maersk, the shipping container company, they are withholding their services to Gaza. And I mean, that is huge. I mean, this is going to be felt in the pockets of so many businesses and companies and CEOs, that they are going to have to really face the music. And the energy that's playing into this is Saturn in Aries, along with Neptune in Aries, making a square to this Jupiter. And so these CEOs, their structures, their orders, their operations are starting to erode. And this one company has taken the initiative to follow their moral compass and not provide shipping these weapons. And so this is totally in line with the Cancer new moon as well. Actually, the Sabian symbol for the Cancer new moon, which is 5 degrees Cancer, because we round up, the new moon is at 4 degrees, and it happens on the 25th at 3:31 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, by the way. So the Sabian symbol for this Cancer new moon is an auto wrecked by a train. And so what this kind of tells me is, you have this force of, whatever it is, force of nature, if you want to call it that, this force of energy that seems like it can't be stopped, but it only takes one vehicle to stop it in its tracks. And that would be Maersk. And I mean, congratulations. I mean, this is a very exciting development, in my opinion. When I when I learned about it, it got me emotional, which is totally Cancer energy, water energy, and my Sun and Mercury are in water signs in Pisces as well. So this is like with Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, with the moon is the ruler of Cancer. This is very potent, in your feels kind of energy, like heavy emotions. And it could be exuberance. Like for me, this is just that first domino that's about to create this set of chain of events that I feel like are going to bring us into this big upward spiral, is how I kind of see it. And it lines up with the astrology, how everything is in harmonious aspects to one another. Uranus is at 29 degrees Taurus right now, and it will enter Gemini on July 7th. And it won't be making aspects of creative opportunity to Neptune and Saturn in Aries, which will also be making a sextile to Pluto in Aquarius, which is currently retrograde at the moment. And then Saturn and Neptune will be retrograde in about a month or so as well. So these are creative opportunities that are being orchestrated. So with Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini, they are both in air signs. And so the movement of ideas and collective healing and uprooting and like turning things on their head, just completely flipping the script. That kind of energy, I feel like, is going to take over the rest of the year, the rest of next year, the next couple years. And yeah, it's going to take a lot of getting used to. So we do want to pace ourselves and do our best not to rush into things and take our time, listen to our body, and let it rest when it needs to rest rather than pushing through. The great thing about Virgo, like the South Node in Virgo, is that we are releasing these ideas of perfectionism and having to like follow these orders. And yeah, that's another layer. That's another layer of these energies that are also playing out. Is, you know, we can see it with Maersk as an example. Like the CEO took it upon himself to not follow through with these orders that he's received. I mean, they are purchase orders. You know, he's a service provider for these, you know, billions of companies who rely on them to ship products and whatnot. But rather than abiding by these orders that they don't resonate with and that the rest of the world doesn't resonate with, he is putting his foot down and stopping the train of destruction. So yeah, these are exciting times that we are witnessing. So I feel like this is a really, I don't know, potent, special time to take advantage of, where we can really use our minds, our thoughts, and the feeling that we are able to drop into to create a world that we want to see. Because, I mean, this kind of manifestation doesn't just happen. Like it takes, you know, it takes a village. There's so many people in the world that have been working behind the scenes, you know, praying, meditating, like group meditations. You know, there's statistics that show that 90% of the world do not agree, do not want these countries to go to war. And so within those 90% of people, I can bet that most of them are praying and hoping and wishing and meditating on peace. And so that's got to say something, you know, that elite, that 1%, that small percentage of the population that wants to continue to feed these war industrial complexes, these industrial complexes, is only a small percentage. So there's more of us than there are of them, and the people who are operating these systems are starting to come to their senses. Their moral compass is starting to come online. And I feel like this is connected to Neptune, which is connected to the collective consciousness and the collective unconscious, Saturn in Aries. And these two, Saturn, which is the disciplinarian and structure, and Neptune is collective consciousness and oneness, will be traveling back into Pisces for another couple months to really like make sure that we've learned those lessons of spiritual discipline and following your divine path, you know, your moral compass, you know, making sure you're in alignment and spiritual integrity with the things that you are doing, that you agree to. And so these players in the sky are assisting us. You know, we're in better hands than we can even imagine. And so if we just keep on trusting that, it's that a heroic surrender and heroic trust that is allowing these manifestations to come to surface. And we're going to find out a lot more about how inherently good the world is. You know, we've been told, and there's been so many projections of divisiveness and polarity, and it doesn't matter if it's political or racial or whatever it might be. Like, we've been fed this narrative of believing that there's some sort of supremacy or superiority between, you know, you name it. There's white supremacy, political supremacy. I mean, if there's two sides and one or the other is trying to convince us through propaganda that one is more supreme than the other, then that is supremacy. And that is what keeps us from working together. So it's just a tactic, a ploy. You know, it's a strategy that's been used for hundreds of years to keep us in these lower levels, like these dense operating systems, so that we don't reach this heaven on earth playing field. Right now it's only the elite that are aware of this kind of energetic strategy, and now that we are becoming more intuitive, we're, you know, waking up, we are able to not give those divisive strategies, playbooks, any more of our energy, and actually focus on the light, turning on our light, turning up the light, and not having any shame, and just being as individual as we possibly can, sharing our individual unique gifts, because that's what will bring us together. That's what will allow us to find out who has the skills and the tools and, you know, all of these intuitive ideas to be able to create something, create a heaven on earth that we deserve to have. Like, we don't need to die to reach that level. We're going to learn and discover so many truths over the next, at least, you know, while Uranus is in Gemini, it's going to be some wild discoveries, absurdly delicious blessings, and yeah, it's going to be a wild ride. So it's something to be very excited about. I wouldn't have any fear. Like, have no worries. You know, have the most trust in the universe, and realize that things are being orchestrated in the most brilliant ways than we can even imagine. So yeah, it's really like, this is not your normal Cancer new moon. The Cancer solstice, the summer solstice, was not your typical solstice. The solstice is when, you know, the sky or the sun is in the northern hemisphere, closest to the earth. So it's the most extreme, in some parts of the world, extreme heat. You know, this is when the sun stands still the longest out of the entire year. And with Jupiter there, making these exact aspects to Neptune and Saturn and Aries, and there's actually a lot of inconjuncts or quincunxes to, like, Pluto and Aquarius. These are quincunxes, are aspects that are kind of awkward feeling. Like, say, like, for instance, Mars in Virgo and the moon and the sun in Cancer are in harmonious sextiles to one another, and so they have creative potential. And then with these two, Mars in Virgo and the sun and moon in Cancer, they are making an inconjunct to Pluto and Aquarius. So the Virgo, earth, Cancer, water, are making inconjuncts to Pluto and Aquarius, which is air. And air, which is yang, it's extroverted, it's masculine, making an inconjunct to Virgo and Cancer, which they are yin, feminine, introverted. And so they don't have a lot in common. There's more polarity, if anything, or dissonance, but there is an opportunity for the two energies in Virgo and Cancer to make a positive impact to Pluto and Aquarius. And Pluto is power, hidden power, power struggles as well, hidden wealth. In the sign of Aquarius, that is the collective, you know, systems, technology, grids, power grids. And Mars in Virgo is the energy of, like, critical thinking, like very organized, methodical ways of getting to a certain point. Then Cancer is compassion, caring, sacred, you know, safety, security, belonging. So this is what's called a finger of God, and, like, you know, people are going to be talking about it, and it is playing out pretty powerfully. I'm sure there's even more going on behind the scenes that we can, you know, like that we can't even fathom. Maybe down the line, when our consciousness catches up, we can maybe realize how this is actually playing out. But yeah, there's a couple of inconjuncts happening, quincunxes, which is an energy of awkwardness. You know, I consider a quincunx kind of like, you know, in opposition it would be, for example, Pluto in Aquarius and soon to be Mercury in Leo. And so that's an opposition. A quincunx is kind of like not exactly being able to see what's across and having to like lean over, and you have to like lean over to see what's across, if that makes sense. So it's not like a direct clear view. You have to like kind of work with what's around in order to see what is straight ahead. I don't know if that I explained it as well as I thought I would have in my head, but anyway. But yeah, I mean, even with Mercury about to enter Leo, there will be this other kind of opportunity for Pluto and Aquarius to receive these energies from Mercury in Leo, Mars in Virgo, and Jupiter, the Sun. The Moon will have moved on, but the Cancer energies in the beginning degrees of Cancer. And Venus is still in her home sign of Taurus, which is, you know, a positive energy, and it's relaxed, it's calm, it's a focus on or an honoring of self-worth and knowing what we deserve. And it will be coming into a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus in about a week or two. So that can be delightful surprises connected to feminine energies, I would say, and unexpected blessings. Could be with technology, since Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius and Gemini is connected to communication and travel. Well, like transportation, cars, wheels. Anything else going on? I mean, there's so much going on, but yeah, right now, Black Moon Lilith in the mix too, in the sign of Scorpio. Retrograde is making a trine to Mercury in Cancer and the North Node in Pisces. So if there's any sort of suspicion or any sort of suspicion that is surfacing with Mercury in the sign of Cancer also, these can reveal some secrets that are meant to be revealed with Pisces, the North Node in Pisces in the mix. So don't be surprised if some dark secrets start to come out about family, ancestry, or ancestors. That's a possibility. Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom and ancestral wisdoms that we can be made aware of at this time. And with Saturn and Neptune squaring this energy, there is a karmic kind of pullback from this buoyant Jupiter, Sun, Moon energy. So on some side of the coin, there can be disappointments. You know, like with the Maersk example, like the ones that are probably feeling the karmic repercussions are, you know, the companies that are not on the right side of history. You know, I mean, everybody has their part to play, but you know, the karmic lesson in this is also part of the narrative. So hopefully that made sense. Yeah, hopefully that was helpful. It is a great new beginning to start setting intentions and planting those seeds that will cultivate those dreams that you've been envisioning for years now. Like if you feel like you know, it seems impossible, that should give you that much more motivation to like put those intentions into the ground, like really cultivate them and envision them and water them. And despite any kind of disappointment or setback, like just trust and understand that this is part of the process, and the things that we are doing are bigger than we've probably ever done before or pursued before. So we have to give ourselves and others a lot of grace. You know, it's more about trial and error right now, and it's better to at least try and put in the effort than not, you know, like then rather than staying stagnant, because stagnation is going to be shaken up, you know, like it's not gonna manifest in a way that is comfortable the longer you allow it to stay stagnant. So realizing that now and putting in the effort, you know, putting in the effort and taking those steps toward being unstuck behooves you, I guess you could say. So yeah, hopefully that made sense. Hopefully that was helpful, and thank you as always for sticking around. And if you are interested to see how these energies are affecting your chart, I mean, your chart is the blueprint of your soul's path, and right now is an incredible time to unfold it and take a look at what you have been possibly intuitively seeking, you know, like those itches that need to be scratched is your intuition speaking to you. So allow it to come through, and the information in a chart can give you so much validation and relieve so much stress and anxiety. It's better than I mean, I'll just leave it at that. You know, oh my gosh, that's confirmation. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully that was helpful, and I look forward to unfolding your chart with you. All the Cancer New Moon blessings, and so much love.